It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Firebrand Brewing Company, and it's a can of their coffee stout coming in at 6% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Ooh, a nice full can of beer. That's what we like to see here on the channel. Beer in the glass then. Started off with a bit of a rigorous pour. Now let's slow it down so we can try and get the whole can of beer in the glass. Jet black looking beer. Let's move my finger out of the way, get it down lower for you. Jet black beer in a glass. Look at the sediment at the bottom of the can making its way into the beer. Look at that. It's given it a little bit more of a kind of a rigorous carbonation, just looking at that there. You can look at the bottom of the can. The bottom of the can. The bottom of the glass. Look at that. Looks really good. One finger tan coloured head. Good levels of carbonation. I've not had a stout in... I'm trying to remember the last time I had a stout. It must have been well over, like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. No light bleeding through whatsoever. Jet black beer. Let's get the aroma. Oh, that smells fantastic. This beer was, or is, from Cornwall. Cornish craft beer. The aroma is really nice. Chocolate, coffee, caramel from the roasted malt. And a raisin and a plum and a prune and a fig with the hops that they've added to the beer. And that's kind of reacted or mixed in nicely with the roasted malt. Instead of having flavours of maybe, say, passion fruit and mango and grapefruit and that sort of thing, by adding those similar hops to a roasted beer in a stout or a porter, it changes the flavour profile slightly of the hop. So you're picking up, instead of passion fruit and mango and orange peel and fleshy blood orange, you're picking up fig, prune, raisins, red grape, a vinous quality in the beer. Touch of coconut, touch of vanilla. Maybe even a touch of cinnamon, if my nose is working for me tonight. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yes, lovely. Gonna put that down. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a lovely beer. What a lovely, lovely beer. Coffee, chocolate, caramel. Oh, yeah. Cinnamon, spiciness, pepperiness on the back end. That vinous quality. It's in the middle. It's in the middle of the flavour. You got a lot of roasted malt to begin with, a lot of roasted malt at the back end, but then a real kind of vinous quality in the middle. Nice mouthfeel. Creamy, rich mouthfeel. It's got a lovely depth to it. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. And look at it, you can see that. I just mentioned the carbonation there. But just check it as I rock the beer back and forth. You can see that carbonation chasing the head up the glass. Lovely lacing on the glass. It's really good. It's in between, like, there's two reasons why I'm kind of drinking this beer as quickly as I am. I'd say it's one of these beers that never quite leaves the lips. It's always kind of near your lips, this type of beer. You're always sipping away at it. And there's two reasons for that. Or three, of course, three reasons for that. First of all, let's get the flavour bit out of the way. There's some lovely flavours in the beer. We'll get to that in a moment. But the second thing is the mouthfeel. It's refreshing. It's drinkable. But at the same time as it being refreshing and drinkable, it's leaving a layer of there's enough of a boldness to the beer, a thickness to the beer, that you can just feel it sitting it on your palate, and once it sits there on the palate, it envelops, and it allows the flavours to be pushed around the inside of the mouth by that carbonation. It just sits there for a little bit longer for your palate to really enjoy your beer. But again, at the same time, they've got that balance really right. They've probably added some oats to the beer, where they've made it refreshing but with a nice mouthfeel all at the same time. Flavour wise, chocolate, coffee, caramel from the roasted malt, creamy, rich denseness to it, vinous, plum, fig, prune. This is, and of course, coffee, lots of coffee. It's a lovely beer. I imagine, I've not read anything on the side of this can. I imagine they've collaborated with some kind of coffee roasters, perhaps from the Cornish region, to brew this beer. Let's have a look. Our version of cold brewed coffee. This stout is incredibly smooth and chocolatey, with an added zip from our own blend of coffee beans. Oh, their own blend of coffee beans. Okay, so they haven't collaborated with a local coffee roasters. They've collaborated with themselves. They have their own coffee beans, which is perfect. Well done, guys. Brewed with roasted barley and crystal malts for a luscious depth of flavour. We've packed our hop rocket full of coffee beans for a wake up and smell the coffee type boost. The malts are pale ale, crystal, dextrin, wheat and roast barley. Hops are magnum, and they just say it contains barley and wheat. Lovely, it really is. They're from Launceston in Cornwall. That is a lovely beer, a really lovely beer. I'm gonna rate it. Gonna rate that. I like that coffee stout by Firebrand Brewing Company. Enough. Looks good. Look at the beer as I rock it back and forth. It looks great. Lovely aroma. Rich, vinous, lots of coffee. And plenty of flavour, with the added bonus of it being a can conditioned beer. Now that's where it's probably a lot of sediment in the beer that I'm not sure if that's yeast or it's just unfined. It's just bits of the malt and just made its way into the beer, which, I mean, for me it adds a lot of flavour. A lot of flavour to the beer. I like that enough. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.